Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today I am hearing the artist Sonu Nigam for the first time, so we are going to watch a live performance from MTV Unplugged. Here we go.
छलकी छलकी चांदनी में गाती है दीवानगी। छलकी छलकी चांदनी में गाती है दीवानगी। ये गाना मैं इसलिए गा रहा हूँ क्योंकि इस गाने के लिरिक्स राइटर मेरे बहुत ही प्रिय मित्र और बहुत ही गुणी सोचने वाले अब से कुछ 1 महीने पहले दुनिया को छोड़ के चले गए।
Hold on. Okay. I had to grab my phone so I could look up a translation. Hopefully it's accurate. The opening to this song, the music alone and then just the few vocal lines that we heard, I mean, it was just heartbreaking. I felt myself getting emotional. I know I had goosebumps. And then not only, sorry, my mind is racing. When he really started singing text, I was taken aback by his timbre. And then hearing him speak was another surprise. So we're going to go back a little bit. I might just need to go back closer to the beginning. Oh, and how cool was it that he was playing I don't know what mallet instrument it is. Because it's so high and so small, I thought it was a glockenspiel, but I don't know. Oh, maybe not. No. This sound is so beautiful. It is definitely chest dominant, but you can hear the separation of the chords. That beautiful warm texture is just a lot of air flowing through, and it's not relaxed air. I feel like there is a decent amount of pressure behind it, which is why there's this sort of forceful, earnest quality.
छलकी छलकी चांदनी में.
When he starts singing text, there's a bit more closure in the chords, but not a ton. It still blends beautifully with what we heard before. It's just I don't know. That speech-like approach to me often translates to, I don't know. There's something very heartfelt in it. And so reading through what I hope was a decent translation of the lyrics, it makes sense to me that he would want to convey that sincerity even more than he did in that first vocal line, like when we weren't getting any text. गाती है दीवानगी छलकी छलकी चांदनी में गाती है दीवानगी।
ये गाना मैं इसलिए गा रहा हूँ क्योंकि इस गाने के लिरिक्स राइटर मेरे बहुत ही प्रिय मित्र और बहुत। What a gorgeous speaking voice.
We're getting less nasality in his speaking tone, which I think is what surprised me the most. And that's a huge testament to his technique and how he utilizes that nasal cavity in his singing, because instantly that sound is gone. It's still very balanced. Like, we're getting some really nice ping and we're getting that really nice open pharyngeal sound, but it's, yeah, it was just a shock, a surprise to hear him eliminate so much nasality when he started speaking.
सोचने वाले अब से कुछ एक महीने पहले दुनिया को छोड़ के चले गए at the age of 42. Ajay Jhingran. I'll always miss his eyes, his spirit. So this is my tribute to Ajay Jhingran.
बीते जो बाहों में तेरी वो ही पल है जिंदगी बीते जो बाहों में तेरी वो ही पल है जिंदगी जिंदगी छलकी छलकी चांदनी में गाती है दीवानगी।
Oh, the restraint. This acoustic piano is just so breathtaking with like, this is a collaboration when I think about singers and pianists working together. Sometimes it feels more like accompaniment, which is not a bad thing, but when you hear the term collaborative pianist, this is the kind of piece that I think of, where there's just this beautiful, I don't know, ebb and flow between the two. It's so stunning. Let me go back just a little bit. I love his play with vibrato, and here that stretch, that sustained tone, that straight tone added so much, I don't know, it just sort of gave me an impression of yearning, and then to hear the vibrato come through at the end, I thought was beautiful.
बाकी थोड़ी सी है जिंदगी जगी धड़कन नहीं जाना जिंदा हूँ मैं तो अभी कुछ ऐसी लगन इस लम्हे में है ये लम्हा कहाँ था मेरा अब है सामने इसे छू लूं जरा मर जाऊं या जी लूं जरा खुशियाँ.
Of course, I love hearing all these beautiful turns that he's incorporating. I don't know the correct word for this technique off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I need to just reference the text one more time. I love that in this section there is a build, but it's not necessarily in intensity. I mean, there could be, of course, in an interpretation, but that's not what is resonating with me. I think there's a build emotionally, and the way he's incorporating more chord closure, yet still using that nasality, I think it creates this really lovely balanced sound when we consider what we heard previously. I think had we heard this chord closure and less nasality, a significant removal of nasality, it would be a bit jarring or seem sudden. And instead it just kind of adds embellishment. Let me back it up a little. कुछ ऐसी लगन इस लम्हे में है ये लम्हा कहाँ था मेरा अब है सामने. That was the first time I heard something that felt a little bit more open. When you consider singing high notes, space in the oral cavity can be helpful. And so if you maintain nasality and keep the soft palate lowered, it's a completely different technique to sing high when you compare that with someone who lifts the soft palate to create more space. There's a different sort of trajectory of airflow, and within one's anatomy, we all have to figure out how to manage that, how to balance that with our bone structure, with how much space we are or are not able to create. So I point that out only because of that one note where it sounded a little less nasal. It almost as if he's sort of switching techniques momentarily, and I don't know if he did that for ease in range or to achieve a specific sound on that particular note. So either way, I found it interesting. One more time.
मर जाऊं या जी लूं जरा खुशियाँ झूम लूं या रो लूं जरा मर जाऊं या जी लूं जरा.
It almost seemed in that last section that he was not behind the beat, but just sort of chilling on the back of it. And obviously everyone in this room is rehearsed together and they all know each other's habits. And I just love how the instruments didn't pull him along. They gave him a little room to take more time in that section without completely slowing down the song.
जलते हुए तन को छाया पेड़ की मिल गई, रूठे बच्चे की हंसी जैसे फुसलाने से फिर खिल गई.
This sighing approach that we're hearing in this, I'm assuming this is a verse. It's so elegant and it's such a great pairing to that warm, slightly velvety sound he has been using throughout.
कुछ ऐसा ही अब महसूस दिल को हो रहा है, बरसों के पुराने जख्म पे मरहम लगा सा है. कुछ ऐसा रहम इस लम्हे में है, ये लम्हा कहाँ था मेरा, अब है सामने इसे छू लो जरा, मर जाओ या जी लो जरा, खुशियाँ चूम लूं या रो लूं जरा, मर जाओ या जी लो जरा, अब है सामने इसे छू लो जरा, मर जाओ या जी लो जरा, खुशियाँ चूम लूं या रो लूं जरा, मर जाओ या जी लूं जरा.
Thank you very much.
What a beautiful piece. I really loved the tonality of the whole thing. There were moments that felt so heavy and so melancholic, and yet there also seemed to be a sort of celebration and a joy within the same piece. I am sorry I couldn't follow along word for word, just because I don't know the language, so I'll have to do a bit of a study and go back through it and try and follow along a little more closely. He has access to so many beautiful colors, and a big part of that is the back and forth with the incorporation of nasality. but also the breathiness and how he utilizes air pressure. And of course, I mean, I would consider this technically a very complex piece. So for him to just make everything seem so effortless, so that I, as the listener, can pay attention to the song, the music, his delivery, without getting caught up in what he's doing technically, I think is just super impressive. So I'm going to leave it at that today. Thank you guys so much for this recommendation and for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.